My name is Laura Watson-Munro and I will be presenting a presentation on gender, sexuality and identity. Why are these issues important? They are important because children can become limited when they are categorized into gender stereotypes. Gender can be a confusing topic for young children to understand. Gender helps children to construct their identities. Sexuality can form prejudice bias that creates a platform for bullying, and children can come from mixed sexuality homes. The resource I will be speaking about is called the Gender, Identity and Sexuality Kit. It was made by the Teachers Association in New South Wales and aims to create inclusive environments for schools. The kit is inclusive for students from early childhood up until grade 12. It helps teachers to define and explain terminology for gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and intersex terms, as well as providing tools and strategies for classroom use. It can also provide advice on how to include anti-homophobic policies into a school community. The gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and intersex communities in Australia are diverse. In addition to this, the experiences and understandings of the people in these communities are diverse too. There are many different ways that the people who belong to these groups can choose to express their identity, gender, and sexuality, and their sense of belonging. While some students may choose to be open about their gender, identity, or sexualities, others choose to disclose this information about themselves, and in some circumstances, others may not have a choice. The experiences of the people who identify as gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered, and intersex can be influenced by cultural backgrounds, socio-economic statuses, ethnicity, religious beliefs, families, and the communities in which they live. Attitudes to issues related to people of diverse sexuality and gender have changed significantly in Australia over the past 3 decades. Legal equality is recognised in most areas of the legislation, but inequality still remains. This inequality is evident throughout all areas of education, including early childhood. This kit aims to promote teaching strategies for teachers in early childhood education up to secondary school. It does this by including examples of strategies and resources teachers can use to promote inclusivity in the classroom. An example of an early childhood inclusive practice to promote gender, sexuality, and identity equality in the kit are modelling family diversity. This would be through using a range of developmental resources in the classroom to celebrate diversity from where each child comes from. Another example is to allow children to explore and encourage non-specific gender-free play. This might look like boys dressing up as girls and girls enjoying playing in typically boy-dominated areas such as construction. Another way early childhood teachers can expand on classroom inclusivity is to encourage and welcome same-sex parents and primary caregivers in the classroom. Primary school teachers are aware of both social development and engagement in schooling and the way these areas of development help to form students' understanding about gender. Teachers should be able to recognise sex-based harassment. This includes homophobia, knowing that children from a young age can use homophobia in powerful ways to monitor gender play in primary school. The kit aims to include teaching strategies and additional resources for primary teachers to promote inclusivity in the classroom, in addition to on the playground, that aims to decrease homophobic bullying. Some examples of the strategies are ensuring libraries in schools contain gender-inclusive resources which portray a range of different families for teachers and students to access, intervening to stop bullying, name-calling and gender stereotyping, naming homophobic when it occurs and addressing it explicitly in the school's policies and plans. Students in secondary schools have well-formed ideas about gender in relation to identity and sexuality. These ideas can often be used to justify demeaning behaviours, to bully, interrogate, ignore students who are gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, or intersex on the basis that the students do not fit into social norms. Often students use other students' gender and sexuality as a platform to prove their own gender. This kind of behaviour contributes to heterosexist culture in high schools. Strategies that aim to diminish this kind of culture would include employing teachers who are of diverse sexuality or gender, and to display public materials which indicate that this kind of bullying is wrong, and to also have a support group for students who do fall into these types of groups. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you have found it helpful and that you might be able to adapt some of the practices from the gender, sexuality, and identity kit that was noted within this PowerPoint presentation. Thank you again.